Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Faceless Podcast. Hope you're having a great day. This is going to be a dating segment. Well, not really a segment, dating episode. And we're going to talk about is there poop and pee in the dating pool? Okay, let's really talk about it. Let's get into it. So, a lot of it's a lot of information out there about relationships. There's a lot of information out there about dating or Christian dating or dating, waiting for the right one and things you need to do to prepare for the right one and what women need to do, what women need to say, what women need to wear, how women need to present themselves, for their spouse. But I will definitely say there's not enough information out there about how men need to present themselves or prepare for dating as well. I think that I do not think there's pee and poop in the dating pool. I think there are amazing men and women out there for men and women that are looking for someone. I do think that there's a lot going on in the world. And with a lot going on in the world, you have to put yourself in situations where the caliber of person that would be at those events or those places are people that you would want to be around. That's what I think. I think that if you go to a place like a jazz club, there's a certain type of person there. If you go to, um, a opera, there's a certain kind of man there. If you go to an art exhibit, there's a certain type of person there. I also will say, which is it is very interesting that I've noticed, like certain hairstyles that I wear will attract certain type of guys as well. So if I wear like natural braids, it attracts one type of guy. If I wear a weave, it attracts a different type of guy. So I just think you have to figure out what are you looking for? What are like my therapist said, what are your three top things that you know for a fact is what you want in a partner? Where would that person be? Where would they frequent? Would they frequent the gym? Is fitness really a big thing for you? Then go to the gym, right? The early mornings or late nights. Do you love music? You love to sing, you love to dance. Maybe take some singing lessons, maybe take some dance lessons. You never know who you might meet, cycling classes for fitness. Do you like drawing? Are you an artist, right? Do you want someone that's an artist and take some painting classes? There's things where I feel like you just have to put yourself in the places where those people would be and open yourself up to the person being different than what you imagine and being okay with that. I think our expectations, a lot of the times, we're not even meeting those expectations that we're requiring out of someone, but we want this person to come a certain way that we are not even at that point. And I think that's what it is. I think that if you know you're a woman, you're a prestigious woman, you are an educated woman, you are a businesswoman, you know that this the type of man that you want, he may not be black. He may be of another, European descent. He may be Asian. He may be something else. Can you open your preference to something else because you're not finding it where you are? Can you go different places because you're not finding it where you frequent? Right? I think being open doesn't mean being thirsty. It means being presented to this person and then that person either taking the cue or not taking it. I personally know I don't think I have it in my spirit or soul to chase a man. And I don't have it. I don't even have it to pursue a man at this time. I just don't have it in me. I think I chased love so much in the past that I no longer want to be in the cat and mouse game. But some women are more bold and they are able to go, after what they want. And I absolutely love it for them. But I think for me, my personality, what God has spoken about me, that is not the key for me. You know what I mean? And I think you have to be honest about what you want. Do you want a man who is a pursuer, a protector, a provider? Or are you okay with being a partner? Are you okay with 50-50 rent? Are you okay with sharing the bills? You have to know what it is you're looking for in order to know what you want to find. I think sometimes we want someone who is, like I always laugh about this, but I'm coming to the realization we want someone who's perfectly healed, that they are perfect, that they got that banging body, okay? They coming through with the swag dripping and all of that stuff. But that person brings a lot of insecurities out of people that are with them. So are you physically taking care of yourself to be with someone that's like that? Do you feel like you are graced to be with someone that, y'all, my dog is snoring. I'm not even lying. Like, she's going in right now. So sorry about that. Yeah. So do you have the confidence to be with an attractive partner? You know what the attention comes with that. Are you able to trust that partner who is attractive and gets a lot of attention from men or women? Are you able to deal with that? We, a lot of the times, I feel like we have unrealistic expectations for people and we don't put those expectations on ourselves. You know what I mean? We want somebody who's financially stable, mentally stable, emotionally stable, but you know you need therapy and you haven't went. Okay. Or you don't have a savings account. You ain't never saved the coin. You know what I mean? Like, preparing yourself as your best self for that person is very important. And it's not always just working out, it's mental, it's emotional, it's dealing with the trauma of your past, it's going to therapy, it's going to church sometimes, it's listening to a sermon a day, it's talking about hard things. You know what I mean? And I think that somebody brought it up this way, which I thought was really interesting. Somebody said, we don't know how long Eve was in the garden. There's no time. Like, no one knows if she was there the whole time and he didn't see her until that moment. We don't really know if it happened right after. Now, look, I'm not going to go that far because I really don't, I have to read the story again and really pray about it. But when you think about it, if you were presented in front of that person today, do you feel like that would be a good fit? And if the answer is no, I have to work on this, I have to work on that, I have to work on that. That to me shows that you are semi ready because you know that you still have things to work on while you're waiting. And when you get so wrapped up in the things that you have to do, you truly forget about dating. And you forget about a spouse. You honestly forget about it because you become so wrapped up in your own healing process and you become so wrapped up in you. And it's not in a selfish or prideful way, but in a healing way. Like, I want to be my best I want to be the best person for this person. I want to help this person to succeed. So I need to be secure in myself. I need to be confident. I need to feel attractive. I need to know I'm beautiful without anybody telling me. I need to be affirmed. I need to be chasing destiny. I need to be, seeking the righteousness of God. I need to, read my Bible more. I need to pray more. These are things that I believe that a lot of the times we don't really look at. We're so busy looking at, okay, men need to do this, men need to do that. I'm tired of men doing it. Listen, I'm tired of it too. We got 50,000 men out there telling women what they need to do to be better for them, and they're not doing their part in some cases. But I just believe if we focus on that, it just breeds that. We don't really need to focus on that. Let's focus on, as women, what do you feel like you need to do to be the perfect mate for that person? And for men, what do you feel like you need to do? Do you want a 50-50 relationship? Are you okay with her having a say so in the household? Are you okay with her not taking all the home responsibilities because she got to work too? Are you okay with cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids and things like that? What does that household look like for you? And I think those are conversations we really need to think about, because then you won't be attracted to or want certain people that's the opposite of that. Why are you arguing with people, men that want to be 50-50 with someone, and women are okay with that? That's their business. That's between them. If that's not what you want, then don't even enter that conversation, because that has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to argue with people about what their preference is. If that's their preference, that's fine. My only issue with preferences is if you're like, I only date light-skinned women. That's not a preference. Okay, that's a vain preference. And that's not a good, like, that's a preference that could be rooted in, a lot of colorism in our communities, in the Black community. So I just think, be realistic about these preferences, show the root of those preferences and why. Right? Why do you only date that? I remember with me, I always wanted dark skinned men. I was dark skinned men. It was really hard. God had to really explain to me that I perceived dark skinned men as stronger. At a time, I perceived them as more strong than light skinned men, more masculine than light skinned men. He had to really deal with me about that was colorism, that was rooted in something I perceived in my neighborhoods or things that I've heard as a kid. So, really get to the root of these preferences and make sure that they line up, what God has for you, and ask God if there's anything you need to work on, and is there anything that needs to be dealt with before that person comes. So I hope this helps. Some advice for the people, them. Um, for women, though, specifically, do not chase love. Love should come to you. You are the favor of God. In the Bible, it talks about wife being favor, that she brings favor to her husband's life. A good woman brings favor to her husband's life, right? Not a good woman would bring something else to his life. But I just think that bring chaos to his life, I should say. So I just think with women specifically, we get so used to having to chase and become and be for someone who is not doing the same. Do not settle. I know it's hard to wait, especially if you're abstaining as well or you practice celibacy. It's hard to wait and you think about settling and maybe I could help him become this and become that. But my advice would be not to do that. Okay. And once again, I am, not your counselor or therapist. This is just my advice. You can take it or leave it. Everybody's walk is differently, but I do think you should work on yourself 1,000% and just really look at what your preferences are, what you're looking for, and do you match up with that type of person? Would you be able to be presented it to that person? Um, is your confidence where it needs to be with to be in a long-term relationship? Are you ready for that next step? And if you're honest with yourself, or if you're like, there are some things I could be doing, there is, because I think with singleness is such a gift. And we don't look at it that way because if you have grown up in church like I have, it has not seemed that way. But there's such a freedom in being single. Okay, you can do what you want, pick up what you want, cook when you want to cook, don't cook when you want to cook. There's a lot of gifts that come with it, but we don't really see it as that because we yearn for the, God ordained marriage and we want that. But singleness is such a gift because you can worship God whenever you want and you don't have to share him in a sense with someone else. So I do hope that you guys see the blessing in being single if you are single at this time. And just start working on yourself. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Like if you meet a certain man of a caliber, if you want, and he says, what is your 5-year plan? What would your 5 friends say about you? You know what I mean? How would you describe yourself? What would your household look like as a wife? What would that look like for you? These are questions that you have to ask yourself, and questions you should also ask anybody you're considering in marriage. What does the finances look like? Do you pay all the bills? Is my money, or is it my money our money? What are we doing here? I think it's very important to have tough conversations in the beginning so you can know who's not for you and not bend or break on it because you feel like what you have doesn't exist. It absolutely exists. I believe God would not put the desire in your heart if it was not for it to exist. Of course, some desires are rooted in other things. That's another conversation. But when it's from God, those desires are there for a reason. So become the best person you can be. Go through your Esther season, go through your sanctification, your beautification. I mean, well, sanctification, beautification, both. Go through that season and enjoy it. You know what I mean? And make your life such a place, such a thing where you are enjoying you're being single, for men and for women. Enjoy it. Love yourself. Read, just pursue you, pursue God and ask him about you, and just really enjoy it and try your best to enjoy yourself. And if you find that you are miserable and you're single, oh, miserable is terrible, is the worst, then there's some codependency there. There's some things that you probably should seek a therapist about. Not because you're crazy or something, but you need to unlearn some bad habits because even with the person coming, it won't satisfy that. You may potentially try to control that person or manipulate or resent, that person or whatever the case is. We have to understand when someone is whole and you are whole, there's two whole people coming into a relationship. So yes, there's going to be some compromise, but you shouldn't be compromising core values. Like my therapist said yesterday, you should not, compromise core values and things that you really hold true to you. So anyway, I just wanted to record that. One of my friends, we were talking about it, and she was like, "Yeah, this is something good to talk about." So I thought I'd post this for her and others who maybe do want to have these conversations. Oh yeah, and sound off in the comments if you agree, don't agree with what I'm saying, and let's talk about it. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.